welcome to AIM Agriculture Farm. Today you are going to learn more about brooding. Before we proceed, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go there, hit the subscription button, then we'll be learning together. And also we have our website. We have shared our link there. Go to our website and have to learn more on poultry farming, and we have many more classes. So today there are factors that you have to consider while setting up a successful brooder with zero mortality. So these factors that you have to consider. Factor number one: before setting up a brooder, what you have to do, you have to choose the best site. When I say the best site, this site must be of a good security. Make sure you have water there. You can access to source of heat, e.g. electricity, source of charcoal, and many more sources. So you have the best site. Let's go to the structure. You have choose the site. This might be a piece of land. You have your piece of land. You have constructed your house. So let's go to brooder setup. You have to do a very nice brooder. Make sure when setting up a brooder, make sure your brooder is round. You have to make sure your brooder is round to avoid the chicks from stampeding in one corner of the brooder. Make sure your brooder is curved. Are we together? Another thing that you have to consider, make sure you have good source of heat. When I say source of heat, you have to make sure if you have choose to use charcoal, make sure you have steady supply of charcoal. Use proper jikos. Other people might say, yes, I'm using a charcoal. There is this thing that most of the farmers do. I'm using a jiko. I've choose to use charcoal. I want to use this structure like a pot. During brooding, you have to have a lot of heat. You have to have enough heat. So you have to use the around jiko, the big jiko, not small jikos that you are using for kitchen purposes. You have to use a brooder jiko. And when you choose to use electricity, you might use a heater. Another farmer might use the smaller heater that they use in the house to keep the house warm. No, there is these bigger heaters. You can choose to use them. Another source of heat you can use infrared. When you choose to use infrared, make sure you have enough infrared. Buy more bulbs. Okay, when you have more bulbs, you'll be able to keep your house warm. Another thing that you have to do or to consider while using jikos, make sure you have enough jikos. When you are brooding 1,000 birds, make sure you have, like, if it is depending on the size of the jiko, you might use 5 jikos, 3, 4 jikos, depending on the size of the jiko. When using lights, one infrared serves 100 birds. If you are brooding 1,000 birds, you have to use 10 infrareds. I know when I say infrared, you people know infrared. Most of the farmers use them in their farming. There is another gas brooder. So it is not that common, but some of you know it. There is a round gas brooder. We have a round gas brooder. We have a square gas brooder. You can locate it at the center of your brooder, and it will work well. Another thing, if you have choose to use charcoal, you have charcoal, yes. You have gas, yes. You have electricity, which will substitute the other. You have to have a substitute source of heat. If you are using charcoal, make sure electricity is your substitute. If you are using electricity, make sure gas is your substitute. Another thing that you have to consider is lighting. Make sure you have proper lighting in your brooder. Make sure you have enough light in your brooder so that your birds can be able to see feeds well, water well. Your lighting must be 24 hours. Your brooder must be 24 hours lighting. Another thing, you have the brooder. You have set up the brooder. Okay, you have the source of light. You come to the floor. On the floor of your brooder, you have to put the wood shavings. These wood shavings will help you to keep the brooder warm. When you hit the brooder, those wood shavings will absorb heat and maintain the brooder temperature. Make sure, and at the top of the wood shavings, you have to cover the wood shavings with either used newspapers or carton boxes. Light the carton boxes on. Place your wood shavings. Place the carton boxes or use newspapers on your brooder. The purpose of these carton boxes is to prevent your chicks from eating those wood shavings, because it is a day-old chick. It can't differentiate between a wood shaving and a feed. It might end up eating wood shaving instead of eating a feed. Another thing, yes, you have arranged the brooder. You have lights. You have heat, source of heat. You have your birds. Let me say you have placed your birds now. Make sure on your brooder must be covered with 90% feed. 90% feed. Make sure you have enough feeders. Other people use baby feeders. Other people use the basin feeders. Let me say basin feeders or troughs. Me, I can advise you to go for baby feeders. Instead of using a feeding trough, you can use a baby feeders. When using a baby feeder, you'll be able to make your feed clean. When using a trough, your chicks can stand on the trough, poop there, then your feed will be contaminated, and there you'll be at a high risk of coccidiosis. So you have to use the appropriate feeders. Another thing is drinkers. You have to have enough drinkers in your brooder. You have to have enough drinkers. Maintain the watering system. Make sure you have enough water in your brooder for you to attain a successful brooder with zero mortality. Another thing that you have to do in your brooder for you to have enough successful brooding, you have to consider biosecurity. Make sure at the entrance of your brooder you have placed a food bath there. Disinfect before entering your brooder. That is the factor. In fact, it's a very important factor to consider. Another thing is feeding. I might say, yes, I have bought my birds proper breed, the best breed. I don't have money to buy feeds. You start fumbling. Yes, I'm not going for starter crumbs because it is expensive. Let me use chick mash. I prefer you to use starter crumbs. Starter crumbs has a lot of advantages. While using a starter crumb, you'll avoid using liquid paraffin. While using starter crumbs, you'll avoid using liquid paraffin. Another thing, while using, this chick crumbs, it is compressed. It was compressed to make a pellet, a crumb. So it is well processed. While using a chick mash, any other company can make a chick mash. And while using a chick mash, chick mash will be at a high risk of coccidiosis, because handling of crumbs and handling of chick mash, it is quite different. And while using a crumb, you'll be on a safer side. I prefer you use a starter crumbs. Another thing, you have feed, proper feed, that is crumbs. You have to feed your birds, to water your birds with clean water. when I say clean water, you have to supplement your birds with vitamins. When I say vitamins, you might use, total, vital, whichever type of vitamin that you want to use, it is your choice. So you have to supplement your birds. The first days of brooding, you might find one of the farmer might go for already debeaked chicks. So that debeaking was done it is called infrared debeaking. When the bird is debeaked, on day one, the bird will face difficulties on feeding. But when you supplement them with vitamins, that vitamin is contained with glucose. So when you supplement with the vitamins, your birds will be strong, acquire nutrients from water from vitamins through watering. So your birds will be okay. Another factor to consider for a successful brooder: make sure you maintain hygiene. You maintain hygiene on your brooder. Do raking. Avoid water spillages on the floor. Change the litter. Maintaining hygiene by turning the carton boxes. You might change the carton boxes. Change they use newspapers to avoid coccidiosis. Another thing that you have to consider is proper vaccination. Follow the right vaccination program. On our masterclass, you have a class there dealing with brooding. When you visit our website, you'll be able to learn more about brooding, and there you'll get the right vaccination program. We are in different areas. No, you cannot use the same vaccination program here at the place where one might be in Nakuru, the other farmer might be in Northeastern. So you have to you have to use the revised vaccination program, and that revised vaccination program, you'll get it in our master classes. So you have to follow the right vaccination program. That is from Newcastle, Marex, Newcastle, Gumboro, first dose, second dose, Gumboro, second dose, Newcastle, and deworming. And that you'll be able to attain a maximum. You'll be able to do a successful brooding. Are you together? Another thing, finally, one and the most important thing that you should not forget, before doing brooding, you have to do research. Make a research. Learn more. Find a successful farmer. In our YouTube channel, we have shared stories with most of the successful farmers. When you watch our videos, you'll be able to learn, gain ideas, gain that knowledge, then implement the knowledge on the ground. Thank you for watching. Follow our YouTube channel. If you have not hit the subscription button, hit the subscription button, then you'll be able to learn more. And also remember to visit our website, look on our master classes, choose one of your best, and get to learn more. Thank you. Bye bye.